Well, hey everybody, it's been quite a while since we pulled the Weissenborn out of the case, so I thought we'd start a new series on the channel here about Weissenborn licks in the key of open D. Now, if you don't have a Weissenborn, that's okay. These licks can be played on a lap steel or any sort of acoustic lap steel. We had some lessons previously last year that are on the channel. Go back and take a look. But in the meantime, we're going to have a quick and dirty fun lesson here with the Weissenborn in the key of open D. If you are using a Weissenborn, I probably wouldn't tune it higher than open D. With a hollow neck, they're not really set up to take the kind of tension that open E and open G, so on and so forth, gives. So this particular gold tone Weissenborn loves open D and also loves open C. Open C is getting pretty low. But today we'll work on a nice lick that's easy to play in the key, or excuse me, in the tuning of open D. So stay tuned and we'll tear it down. All right, if you've been following along in my lap steel videos and slide guitar videos, you'll be pretty well versed in hand technique at this point. So for this lesson today, it's a simple lick. It's going to have two variations, and then we're going to have the jam track so you can play along with it. But this is short, easy lesson today. This won't be a 20-minute lesson. So I'm going to play you the lick with the two variations first, and then we'll tear it down. Okay, so that's the first variation. The second variation will be like this. All right, so let's do the first variation first. It's a simple, easy one. And really, this is just a standard, easy, what I like to call sort of the motorcycle kind of guitar. It's just sort of going... I don't know why I think that's like a motorcycle. Anyway, so we're going to start with the bar at the 3rd fret on the bottom 3 strings. Excuse me, we're only going to pluck the 5th and 4th string with our 1st and 2nd finger respectively. Okay, so it's just going to be a quick slide down. So what we have to do timing-wise, it'll just be a quick and then cut it quickly. So, okay, one more nice and slow. And the second part of it is, now, you'll notice there's something a little different there. So the plucking remains the same off the bat. So like this. Then we're going to hammer down with the bar on the 5th and 6th string respectively and slide that up to the 5th fret. It'll be something like this. Now, what we're doing there is we're just letting the slide do the work. It's a sympathetic kind of thing, I guess that's what you would call it, but we're really not plucking it. It's just we're letting it ring in behind the droning D string that we left open on the ride down, right? Okay, and then we just add a little bit of vibrato there just to give it that sustain, right? So let's take the whole lick from when we started. And then we do it again. And then end it with a simple. All right, so the bar goes to the 5th and 4th string at the 5th fret. Pluck open string D. And then get down to the 3rd fret. And then just end it. All right, so let's take it nice and slow. We'll do the whole lick. Okay, one more time just before we move on to the second variation. Simple as that. Stay tuned for the second part. Now, the second part of the lick is pretty much the same as the first with just a different variation, and of course the variation is going to be a little bit trickier this time. So let's just quickly go over the first part. Now that's where it changes right there. Before we finished out on the first lick, we finished out with the plucking part. Now we have to go like this. We have to go. So it has to end there for the timing to work. So I'll play it once for you, then you'll understand what I'm talking about here. That's the second part of it. So that talks quickly just about the timing, so let's run over that second variation. So we're going to take the slide on the second string, and we're going to begin right up at the 5th fret. Which you can hear that is the octave of the D, right? Now, you could play the open string here, but it doesn't sound as cool because we end with the open string. We want that little bit of vibrato. So it's going to be... And then take the bar down to the 3rd fret, 3rd string. We're going to do a standard Duane Allman lick. I think we've done this one a few times in other lessons, but you'll see how these all tie in together. I'll just play the lick quickly. Very simple. So let's go nice and slow. Just going to start at the 3rd. We're going to, as we pluck the string, we're going to simultaneously slide down to the 1st fret. So, right? So we just do that twice. So when we get to that part, the thumb will be on the 4th string and the slide will be back to the 3rd fret. So very slowly. Pretty easy. And then we just simply end that lick with our second finger plucking the open D string. The first one. Sounds pretty cool that way. It's just a little different tonality than the 2nd string at the 5th fret. So let's just run it for a sec. Now I'll play the whole riff. Sorry, I missed that timing because I'm still locked into... This is where it gets tricky with the two variations. The timing's just a bit different. Stick with me. Okay, now the one other thing you got to watch for in this lick is just your pitch. When we're doing this lick kind of fast, you just want to try to be into pitch at that 5th fret when you can. If you get there, it's a little harsh. So again, it's that ear training thing as we've discussed in the lap steel videos as well. Use your ear the best way you can. So let's just summarize that lick. Okay, stay tuned for the jam track. We'll tie this thing together. On the jam track this time, there will be no bass line, but I put a second guitar part in just to make it sound kind of cool. You don't need this guitar part. It's just something I do to make it sound nice to play to. In any case, stand by. Here we come with the jam track. I hope you've enjoyed this quick and dirty little Weissenborn lick and the tuning of open D. I think we're going to need more of these as we go. I do love the Weissenborn, and I have neglected it over this past winter as I've been working with the lap steel and the slide guitar. So we're going to do a bunch more. But if you've enjoyed this one, stay tuned. There will be more. And again, you can play these licks on an acoustic lap steel, on anything. It doesn't have to be Weissenborn. I just happen to really love the tone of a Weissenborn. And so I have one. In any case, if you're digging these lessons, and you feel like supporting me, please take a look at patreon.com/Dan Walsh. There's all sorts of levels of support you can provide there, with some extra special stuff too every once in a while. In the meantime, stay tuned, take care. We'll see you guys sooner than later.